Now that you have your cams and your axle in here, your follower rods, and something to go up on top of it to show movement, it's time to do the most important part of the project, worth the most amount of points. Go up to New. We have to make drawings. We have to be able to show other people how to do the stuff you did. So first off, this paper's the wrong size. Right-click Sheet 1. Go down to Edit Sheet. Change your size to A. And say OK. And now the sheet is the correct size, but this title block is wrong. So right-click and delete ANSI large. Hit the plus sign next to Drawing Resources. Go to Title Blocks. ANSI A. Double-click. Okay, and now this is the right size paper with the right size title block. We're going to go to Base, and let's search for each one of your parts that we used in here. And some of mine are in different folders, so you'll have to forgive me while I kind of figure out where things go. Alright, when you're dimensioning, you want your front view to be in the bottom left corner, and the other views are going to be, if it's a uniform thickness, like all of these parts are that we cut out with the laser, you only need 2 views. Okay? And you want this bottom left corner to have the most detail. So for example, this is wrong. This is the front view, this is the side view, this is the one that should be in this corner here. Okay, you want these kind of close together, and then we're going to go to Annotate Dimension, and we're going to start putting numbers on this. Now notice this is 0.1875, but it's only showing 0.9. That's because it only goes out to 2 primary units. Now I could go through and change this each and every single time, or I could uncheck this box, say OK, and then right-click on this dimension, go to Edit Dimension Style, and for every part that I go to dimension in this whole project, I'm going to change my precision to 4. Say Done, and Save Edits, and there's the 0.1875. This one is going to have different radii for different parts of it. Oop. Did you notice how I clicked that little green button and nothing happened? That's because I clicked a center point and it's expecting me to click some other point, which I don't really want to do. So if you hit D on your keyboard, that stands for dimension, and that will let you go and start over. Okay, we want to make sure we don't cross any lines, and that we stay inside our page borders. We don't want to go through our title block. We want most of our drawings to be between, most of our dimensions to be between these two. But with radii, it's okay if it's off. We can put in, if I click this, centerline bisector. So if I click these 2 lines, it'll make a line in between. Click these 2 lines, it'll make a line in between. And we can also show that the distance from that point there to that point there is going to be some distance, 1.02. And looks like I'm going to have to go through another dimension to put this one down. So I'm just going to grab this one and move him down just a little bit. Okay, so this looks like a good way to dimension my snail cam. I'm going to double click this one, make it shaded, and keep on going. Now to add a new page on this, I have to go to Place Views, New Sheet. Don't start a whole new drawing file every single time. This has all your Sheet 1, this is all your Sheet 2, and when you finish, you go up to File, Print, and if you have the right printer selected, Industrial Arts, you can click All Sheets, and this will print everything that you've done. So make sure you have Industrial Arts selected. It's also good to go into Properties and check Two-Sided. So that's when you're ready to print. Okay, each part that you made for this object, for this automata project, needs to have its own sheet. And the only exceptions are going to be like the dragon head, which I can still place on here, go to base, and I would grab my dragon head, and I would still give this a good size, so it's taking up a little bit more of the paper. Okay. Drop him over there, make this guy shaded. This might be one that I want to show projected from this. And looks like projected is not going to give me what I want with that whole diameter. Maybe I can do an auxiliary. So if things are at an angle, we can say, hey, that angle, I want to see this lined up with it, which is exactly what I wanted, so that's good. And just click and delete that one. Scroll this down just a little. This one can go up just a little. And let's turn off the hidden lines. I don't think I can without taking that out, and I like having that. So that's okay. I just want to give this a hole in the thread note because it is a hole. And it says what the diameter is and how far down it's drilled. Okay. We can also have the thickness of this whole thing. So if you go from line to line and say this is all 0.125, and this stuff I'm not going to worry about. The only thing that you might consider doing is showing the total distance here from top to bottom, and even with that you can change the dimension type to aligned so that it's more consistent with where the base of that is. Okay. So this would give you a good idea of how big the whole thing is. You might also pick some point out here to show the total width of it. Another one that you might want to go with an aligned dimension. And that's not doing what I want it to do. So this, I don't need every single dimension on it. The other parts I do. If you have questions about how to do that and what needs dimensioned, ask. You can always turn it in and make corrections to it after I've marked it up at home as well. And good luck to you. This is the last video that you should need for your project.